We just had the most frustrating travel day we've ever had in our whole time on the road, and it's taken us a couple days to pick up the cameras and be able to record anything. It was supposed to be a quick travel day. We only had 1 hour to drive.
Yeah, and it was the most beautiful drive. It was so gorgeous. We were headed to our first boondocking location, what I would call our first legit boondocking experience. 4 days, totally off grid, here in the most beautiful place. So we're towing through the mountains for the first time with our new to us truck, and Matt had purchased a scan gauge for this new diesel that we have so that he can know the inner workings of the truck. I don't know all the details, but all I know is that we're driving and all of a sudden red lights start flashing, beeping starts happening, and I'm looking at him like, what's going on? Do we have to pull over? Is our truck gonna blow up? Like, I don't understand what's happening here. I look over at him, he's totally cool, completely calm, but
the engine oil temperature, the EOT, started to rise when we were climbing a mountain. And as we were ascending, it was a long grade and the temperature exceeded the threshold and the scan gauge alarm started going off. It did what it was supposed to do. I was aware of that and I knew what was going on. I also knew that we were almost to the top of the hill, and once we crested the hill and started descending, that the engine oil temperature would come down, the oil would cool off. But Laurie wasn't aware of that, and it made her nervous. It was the beginning of the frustrations starting to set in. That was just the start of the rest of the travel day.
Then our TST, TPMS, which is our tire pressure monitoring system, the alarm started going off. And if you've ever heard one of those alarms, they are loud and obnoxious and you know something's wrong. So that's going off, letting us know we have a tire issue. And all I'm thinking is, we're in the middle of the mountains, there's no safe pull-off, our engine's going to implode, and we're gonna have a flat tire, and there's nothing we can do about it. So we start descending the mountain, and as we're descending the mountain, we see a sign for a campground. And I'm thinking, okay, this is awesome. We have a safe place that we can go, and they'll understand that we're dealing with tire issues and all of the things that we're dealing with.
Yeah, so we ended up pulling down there. We couldn't find the campground.
Nowhere to be seen.
But we ended up stopping on the side of the road in a residential area and got as far off as we could. And thankfully, we had our Viair. Now, before we hit the road, we had our TPMS system. That was one of the very first things we purchased. Before we came full-time RVers, we invested in the Viair. Those two are probably our top two purchases.
Most wise investments for safety, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we aired up the tire and got it up to pressure and were able to shut the alarm off for your sake. And then we got back on the road and kept going. We just want to give a big shout out to Big O Tires. We left our work camping job. We were on our way to our next job and had a front driver's side tire losing air pressure. Our TPMS went off a couple times, had to pull over and air the tire up. Ends up it was a valve stem. They took care of it for us for free. So thank you, Big O Tire.
Then we spent 3 hours trying to find a boondocking spot that would work for us. Now, we drove past the boondocking spot that we were originally going to stay at, which is this place, to fill our water tank. We looked on iOverlander and it showed a Maverick gas station that we could fill at. When we pulled in, it did not look like a place that we would be able to fill. But Matt asked one of the attendants, he said, yep, just go in and get a key and they will give you the key so that you can fill your water tank. So it's totally in a residential area, totally not a place that we ever thought that we'd be able to fill. But that's the cool part that we're learning is iOverlander is very helpful in this regard. And when we were filling our water tank, the attendant lives in an ambulance and he recommended a spot that was amazing and told us we should try it.
Yeah.
Where you can park right on the side of the rim and wake up and look
Oh, wow.
over all of it.
So how much elevation climb would I have to?
It's about 7,500 feet.
Oh.
It's cold at night.
Okay.
So we ended up going out of route significantly, finding out that wasn't going to work for us, and ended up coming back here. But the whole process was about 3 hours. And we'll cover all of this in our rookie boondocking video that we have coming up. You guys are not going to want to miss that, because oh my goodness, we have learned so many things as new boondockers.
Yeah, so we also needed diesel fuel. So we pull into a gas station and there are bags over the diesel pumps.
Every single one.
Yeah, so 0 diesel fuel at this station, just added to the layers of frustration. So we left there and had to find another station with fuel.
And at this point, I am at a level of frustration that cameras off. I can't even speak to him at this point. And it's only because I'm frustrated. It's not anything he had done. But we just want to tell you guys the reality of travel days. We don't want to hide and pretend that they're perfect and that you get along and communicate well the whole time and that you're just a team all the time. Sometimes the frustration levels just get to be too much. And at that point, it just was.
Yeah, and at the same time, I was feeling like I didn't do enough research. I wasn't prepared enough, so I was feeling those pressures as well. So just the combination of both, we just needed no cameras, just get through the day.
Even when we got here, I could not see the beauty of this place because of my level of irritation, and I was regretting everything that day. And the next morning when we pulled our blinds open and opened our door, the beauty is incredible, and it just changed everything. One thing that went right for travel day was that we had meals planned in advance. So in this case, we had made a pan of $1 million spaghetti, which is one of our favorite meals. It will last us 4 days, a pan of it. So we just use these disposable foil pans. We line them with parchment paper, and we're able to put these right in the oven, heat them up. We use plastic silverware, so we don't have any dishes to do after dinner. And we, again, have the meals prepped. We have breakfast, lunch, and dinner always ready for our travel days so that we don't have to even think about it. This travel day experience has reminded us of how important it is to be prepared. Our TPMS is like gold to us. It has alerted us so many times and allowed us to get off the road safely so that we're able to take care of business in a safe place.
Yeah, if you don't have some sort of toolkit or a portable air compressor, you're going to be at the mercy of roadside assistance, and you're probably not going to be in a safe place. So this is really important to consider. Now, thankfully for us, it was just a bad valve stem, and we were able to get that taken care of.
Now get out there and wander. This travel day has shown us how important it is to be prepared, and our TPMS. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get there.
You're good.
This travel day has reminded us. Oh, I forgot to reach for it. This travel day experience has reminded us of how important it is to be prepared. Our TPMS is like gold to us. It has alerted us so many times and allowed us to get off the road safely so that we're able to take care of business in a safe place.
It was just a bad valve stem, and we were able to get that taken care of.
This is